What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim. Gonna be playing a game on TCG today, and as you can see, my beautiful standard deck collection is forever increasing, and soon enough we will have a huge amount of decks to be playing around with for the current standard format. Today we are playing Space Lion, Solgaleo, everyone's favorite Space Lion, and we're going to see how that goes. Solgaleo seems like it could be pretty decent in the current standard format. It knocks out GXs very, very easily. I've noticed that there are a lot of GXs in this current standard format, so that's all pretty cool. And I don't know. I mean, it could suffer from the fact that there is no Sycamore. Sycamore definitely helped to set this deck up easily, so that was very good. This is actually a pretty stellar start here. I don't mind this at all. Now, I can, Ultra Ball these energies away and just Radiant Star early on. That could be a thing that we do. I think I want to Ultra Ball away my Tate and Liza and that energy there. Just get myself a second Cosmo in there, and then we are going to attach our energy. Probably just going to attach our energy to one of these Cosmogs and then just Lily for 7. And this is a fantastic start. I mean, that's ideal. This is pretty insane. Lily is honestly my favorite starting supporter in this format. Since there isn't Sycamore and N, I just find myself playing a lot of copies of Lily, and it just works out really well. I just get to Lily naturally without putting Lele down very often. As you can see, we've got ourselves a turn 2 Solgaleo GX and then some, so pretty cool stuff here. I'm just going to go ahead and pass to my opponent, and there's not really a lot that they're going to be able to do about a turn 2 Soul Burst. We are just going to be locked and loaded here. We've got our Solgaleo Prism Star in the active position. I think that I do want to start with a Soul Burst, though, and hopefully this thing doesn't take too much damage from whatever strategy my opponent decides to implement. I'm guessing this is some sort of Beast Box, perhaps. This Duskmane Necrozma here is an Ultra Beast and would help with Naganadel's attack. This could also be some sort of Magnezone deck. I am seeing the metal energies here, so maybe, yes, it is Beast Box. Okay, that's what I thought. Now, Beast Box, pretty cool. This looks like a metal-oriented Beast Box, so I'm assuming their strategy is going to be to lead with this, whatever that thing is, Naganadel GX, right? Naganadel GX, pretty sure that's what it is. Evolves from the people. And yeah, so they're going to lead with that. They also got Stack Attackas, decreasing damage done, but I'm pretty sure Solgaleo should be able to clear whatever sort of, whatever sort of, damage modification that Ultra Wall does. Pretty sure Solgaleo's got it. I'm not super concerned about that. We're going to put our second energy onto the Solgaleo just because it's really safe there. Then I'm going to Ultra Ball away a Judge and I'm going to get myself a Cosmom. So let's get the Mom out, put the Mom down, and we're going to evolve up one of these Cosmoggies, and then we're going to Cynthia and draw 6 cards. That's pretty sweet. And we've got a handful of supporters, so nothing to complain about there. I think that Lily and Judge are the weaker of the supporters, so I will just Ultra Ball those away. I actually kind of like having Lily and then Cynthia because you can Lily and guarantee that you're going to draw cards and keep your Cynthia in hand, which actually that's something that I find myself doing relatively often. So that's actually like kind of my preferred play here because you're guaranteeing yourself 2 turns of draw, right? As opposed to just let's Ultra Road and let's put him into the active. Guaranteeing yourself 2 turns of draw where you could Cynthia into nothing. So that's my thought process there. And we're just going to Soul Burst GX. We're going to throw 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, all those. And we're going to throw those lovely things into play here. And then let's put a few on here. 1, 2, and then let's just throw 2 onto here as well. And now we're pretty much ready to go. So now we're trying to take as many prizes as we can. Maybe we should be playing like Escape Rope in here. I could see it. I pretty much have no interest in not knocking out a GX. So I may end up just Ultra Balling away Lily and whatever I get off the top deck for a Lele, getting myself a Guzma and just bringing up whatever the most intimidating thing on my opponent's side of the field is and attempting to knock it out. I think of my opponent, okay, we're getting judged. So that's actually kind of cool because maybe I'll just get a Guzma off this. Should be sweet. We do have Guzman. Now we just have Lele, and we have an energy. It's pretty much perfect. That is good. And my opponent would probably want to start softening me up with this Dusk Shot. Dusk Shot is very good. Does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon EX or GX. So with the Choice Band, that Dusk Shot could be doing 90 damage to my active Solgaleo GX, which would be very annoying for me to deal with. Now, fortunately, Solgaleo GX does sport this very fine resistance to Psychic, so that's very good. It's going to be very good against the people and against the Naganadel GXs if they ever find their way onto the board. We do have Oranguru here. I am just going to bring up my opponents. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Yeah. So we're going to go find myself a Guzma. I have 2 in deck, apparently. I have this Apricorn Maker in here. I don't really think that card is needed. I have not found myself using it at all. So let's bring up that thing, and then we are going to be able to just spring ourselves into the active position with Ultra Road. I would like to put him into the active position. Now, I kind of want to save this energy. There's really no point in placing it. I think I'm just going to save it as a utility card, so whatever... wherever kind of it goes, it ends up going wherever I need to put it. I think if I put it on here, this Cosmoem, and then my opponent Guzmas, it knocks out that Cosmoem, that would be very annoying for me, right? I don't want that to be a thing that happens. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that doesn't happen by holding on to my 1 metal energy. I know that I don't have a lot of metal energy left in the deck, so they are very valuable, and I want to make sure that I definitely am careful with them. If my opponent puts another, oh no, if they put that into play, that is another target for me, so that's great. The more GXs they put into play, the better for me. I do not like knocking out these non-GX things at all, but it's very apparent that my opponent has a dead hand, so they don't really have too much of another choice. They seem to be kind of softening up a lot of different Pokemon right now, which is fine. I actually don't have any plays here, so I kind of have to go into Solgaleo and either I can Radiant Star, which is fine. I actually think that I'm just going to do that. So we're just going to go into Solgaleo here and end up Radiant Starring. I can't really Lily for any. I can Lily for 1, which I think that I'll just do. So that's fine. Ooh, all right. So maybe we should not have gone and just attacked first, but that's fine. I actually do want to build up. I want to build up this Solgaleo here. I'm not really interested in pulling that play off yet. So let's end up Radiant Starring. And let's throw, let's see, I got 4 energies that I can locate. So I want to locate 1 here so that I can do that Guzma play next turn. And then I'll put the rest here so that I can Corona Impact this Necrozma in the active position. This is kind of where I'm thinking here is the sweet spot. Didn't really want to waste a Sunsteel Strike on this guy. That was not my plan. I do not want to do that at all. So I would much rather kind of just build up my board position with the Solgaleo Prism Star while my opponent is sitting there really not doing all too much. And then I can just Guzma and knock something else out on the bench, go down to 2 prizes remaining. Fortunately for me, this Duskmane here really doesn't do anything to my Solgaleo Prism Star, and even Naganadel GX doesn't do a whole lot to my Solgaleo Prism Star. That's definitely not getting 1-hit KO'd anytime soon. I'm assuming that my opponent wants to draw cards. They are going to Lily here, yes. Because they're going to Lily for 6. They don't want to whiff a B-string. They want to hit some B-strings right now, especially to put energy onto their stack attackas. Think that that's probably what they're going for. I suppose they could B-string and then Stinger GX, right? Which would even our prizes both to 3. But if they do that, then I am just going to blow up this Naganadel and take myself to 1 prize remaining, and that'd be pretty good for me. So I think that probably. Oh, they did not hit any B strings off of that. That is looking sad. Sorry, opponent. They're going to have to pick somebody to go ahead and Dusk Shot 2. Now, I do play 2 max potions in here. So if I were to ever hit a max potion, that would be pretty good for me. I could heal off one of these things that is being Dusk Shot repeatedly. It looks like this kind of all my opponents got going on right now, which is definitely unfortunate. We do have a super boost energy, so that's awesome as well. I can just use that and clean just knock something out if I can get 3 GXs into play, 3 Solgaleo GXs into play. I think that I am just going to go for this Naganadel here. I mean, it is getting protected by 20, so Sunsteel Strike does 230. So I should be doing just enough damage to knock this thing out, which I think that this just looks like the biggest threat here because they can Stinger GX me, and I don't really want to deal with that. So let's just go ahead and Sunsteel Strike for the knockout on that Naganadel GX. Sweet stuff. Damage decrease, still got that 210. Going into 2 prizes, and my opponent's just going to scoop it up. They know they missed their B-string turn. That's just like not happening. So Solgaleo seemed to set up pretty good right there. I'm going to roll one more game real quick, and we are going to take out that. I don't think that Apricorn Maker is like needed. Let's take a look at this list again, see what we got going on. This is the list. The card up in the top right here under the Tricky Jim logo is Field Blower. Let's see what we got. 3 Nest Ball seems good. Apricorn Maker, I keep putting it in things and then just like not playing it. Doesn't really seem super needed. The 4th Guzma seemed better, honestly. I think that I just wanted to continue seeing tons of Guzmas because you want to just, Guzma around whatever sort of non-EX, non-GX Pokemon your opponent is going to be promoting there. So let's go ahead and roll again with Solgaleo and see how we end up doing here on game 2. We just rolled that Beast Box decks. I've just never been a fan of Beast Box, honestly. I just don't think that the deck is all that great. I think relying on B-string like that, honestly, I think that Buzzwole just does it a little bit better. Now, granted, Stakataka and friends do resist Psychic type, which is very popular right now, especially with Malamar. So that is something to consider. The fact that, you do fare pretty well against these Psychic decks, but I wouldn't really base my whole strategy around that. I think there are better metal decks to be played, and Solgaleo is one of them. I think Solgaleo and Metagross, both better metal decks than Beast Box, in my opinion. All right, and we're playing against Malamar, so let's see how we do against the Malamar deck. This is everywhere on PTCGO, very popular right now. Hello, Mr. Sunny. All right, hello. And then we are going to Tate and Liza turn 1. We are going to draw 5. And yeah, we did have the turn 2 Soul Burst there, but I wanted to give myself an opportunity to draw some more cards. I think I'm just going to wait just like this, and then next turn I can go for an Oranguru. That's a little bit greedy. I could go Cosmom, and then Oranguru. Or I could just go get myself a Tapu Lele GX and go for a bigger supporter. It's probably the correct play, is just to go ahead and do that. Go for a bigger supporter. With Lele, though, the Oranguru would be sweet. That would be kind of the greedy play. Get the Oranguru, draw 3, hit a supporter, draw more cards. That'd be pretty sweet. But I think, guaranteeing myself a bigger draw with Lele is probably better. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. I might be feeling the Oranguru play. The Oranguru is just, it's a better board position that we set up if we get the Oranguru. Nobody likes having 2 Tapu Lele GX on the field. We already started 1. Think Oranguru, by the time you draw 3 with Oranguru, maybe you play some cards down, and then you draw 3 next turn. It's the gift that keeps giving. So that is probably, I think I'm leaning towards the Oranguru play. And, that's all saying that I don't top deck a supporter. If I top deck a supporter, then it's all bets are off. We're doing that. We can see that my opponent is playing non-GX cards like this Dawnwings Necrozma here. Pretty cool stuff. That Hoopa, the Hyperspace Punch Hoopa, is rotated, so Dawnwings Necrozma and Mewtwo are 2 of the better cards to pair as non-EX, non-GX Pokemon with this deck. All right, we've got a rare candy. That makes things interesting. I think that, oh geez, what if I'm just like, I could be kind of greedy here. All right, I'm going to be greedy. Let's just be greedy. Okay, I'm going to Ultra Ball these, and I'm going to go for Lele, and I'm going to Lele for a Lily. So that's what we're going to do. And this is like something cool about playing Lily as a card, is that you can do plays like this. So I do just love Lily. I think Lily is a very good supporter in the game right now. And, definitely for pulling off plays like this. So let's see. As long as we hit an Ultra Ball or we hit a Solgaleo GX off of this, we are good. We did not hit a Solgaleo GX. So that's a little bit depressing. but, you know, we had to go for it. Let's see. At this point, I think I do 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Can I knock any of these out? 70 hit points? No, I can't knock them out. Oh, sad. Okay. And I also can't retreat because this thing does not have the ability. I do think that this Solgaleo will end up being good, though, since my opponent seems to be playing seems to be playing some non-EX, non-GX Pokemon. So let's just attach here. And then we're just going to pass to my opponent. Definitely don't want to hit into them. And since my opponent is not playing any GX Pokemon, they don't have any GX Pokemon in play. Honestly, this guy kind of is better than a Solgaleo GX right now because Solgaleo GX just does not want to be blowing up, the smaller guys. They did not want to blow up small fish. So Solgaleo GX really reserved for kind of the big hitters here. Cynthia next turn, hoping that we can get ourselves another Cosmom down into play, another Cosmog. Yep, another Cosmog in play. Also hoping that maybe I can eventually draw into a Solgaleo GX. Also hoping that my opponent doesn't have like some sort of crazy knockout. Yeah, I was going to say they don't have knockout. They'd have to Pokemon catcher. And they're not going to do that. So they probably will end up, honestly, just Gulf Streaming my Tapu Lele GX again for 20 damage. It looks like that's probably where they're headed. Unless they got some Psychics in the discard pile I don't know about. They got one. They could have two. Yeah, they're just going to attach. They're going to Gulf Stream. They could get another Pokemon out, potentially. Maybe they end up getting like a... no, they don't. I was going to say maybe they end up getting a Dawn Wings or something like that just to increase the mobility of their deck. And sure enough, with the top deck, here we go. We've got ourselves a Solgaleo GX. Very good. So I can attach this Super Boost energy and provides colorless. It provides every type of energy. All right, so I can Soul Burst with this Super Boost. So that's pretty cool. I could see myself doing that. I could see myself also just blowing up this thing here in the active position. That would feel pretty good as well. Feeling like I probably want Soul Burst, but I don't want to like miss out on the opportunity to just attack into this thing. My opponent, they might kind of get off to a weird start. They probably would have to promote a Dawn Wings, and if I knock something out, they can GX me, but they can't, and they can actually knock that out perfectly. So I'm not going to knock anything out. I don't want them to GX me. That is the decision maker. I don't want to get GX'd. So we are going to try to avoid that. This hand is weird. I think I am going to pair it entirely down. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Ultra Ball for an Oranguru. And then I think I'm also going to Ultra Ball for a Cosmog. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so we got to leave at least one Ultra Ball there. We're going to double Ultra Ball. Yep, that's just, we're going to play this whole hand down here. Going to get a Cosmog and a Oranguru, and then just go from there. And then we're going to go and we're going to Soul Burst. So I think that's the play. No, now that I'm like looking at it, no, let's not do that. Yeah, we're just going to throw this thing into the active position. We're not going to get the Oranguru. I think I'd rather save that bench space for something more meaningful. And let's just Soul Burst GX. So like, yeah, let's Soul Burst GX. Going to do that. We're going to get all of our energy from the deck. Very good. We're going to throw those in play. We're going to throw one here. We're going to throw two here, just in case I don't end up getting, that Super Boost, may just end up getting wasted, but that's fine. It was an energy when I needed it, so I don't really mind. We do have to check and see if my Solgaleo Prism Star is in the deck. I'm not exactly sure yet. Haven't exactly checked, so I do have to see on that. Next turn, I am going to throw this guy into the active position, and we are going to Fangs of the Sun. And we're going to knock out this thing in the active, assuming that my opponent does something like Sword of Dawn to my active Solgaleo GX, which is going to hurt a little bit, but that's fine. We're going to send Solgaleo GX back to the bench until some sort of Pokemon GX hits the field, and then we will blow it up with that Sunsteel Strike for 230 damage. So that would be pretty cool. My opponent attaches energy there. Come on, opponent. What you got going on over there in that hand of yours? It can't be completely dead. We got Tate and Liza. All right, so they're going to shuffle draw 5. And I suspect that they won't be putting energy into play. Or not energy, a Pokemon GX. I think that they are not going to do that. because if they do, then I could just go get myself like Guzma and just take 2 Oh, here he is. Okay, so we do have an Ultra Necrozma GX on the board. My opponent, I guess it makes sense. My opponent definitely wants to start powering that up to see if they can eventually get a one-hit knockout score, one-hit knockout of sorts. So I get it. I see why they're doing it. I just, you know, it is an opportunity for me. What's crazy is that this Mimikyu, oh my goodness, this Mimikyu can Sunsteel strike me. Oh, that's horrible. So if they have Choice Band in that deck, that Mimikyu can it score a one-hit knockout? No, it can't. 230 plus 30, 260. Not quite going to cut it there. Do like the Max Potion. I think I'm just going to leave the Max Potion in my deck. I'm going to just attach this here, and then we're just going to Cynthia. I think I'm not going to go for the Guzma play this turn. That just seems super greedy. So we're just, yeah, we're not doing that. And then let's just save the, yeah, let's put this down. And then we're going to Ultra Road this guy into the active position. We're just going to take that knockout. So let's just Fangs of the Sun, knock out that thing, take 1 prize, and then see where we go. My opponent probably wants to Mimikyu this, but they can't. Mimikyu actually does not get there with Fangs of the Sun. Now, if my opponent has Guzma in hand, they can Guzma up my Solgaleo GX and Fangs of the Sun. That with Mimikyu, that would be a knockout. That would be very good for them to do, and definitely would be annoying for me. So I really hope they don't do that. Let's see. They do have Mimikyu kind of flying into the active position here. They don't have any energy on that Necrozma GX, the Ultra Necrozma. They're about to Sophocles. So, discard Malamar and Field Blower. Draw 4 cards. I think that draws 4 cards. Yeah, it draws 4 cards. And that means that they're not Guzming. So, that means they're kind of locked into copycatting my Fangs of the Sun here, which just doesn't get there. It's a Psychic Pokemon against my Psychic Resistant Solgaleo. They're going to be 10 damage short, so that is just going to be a shame there. And then I have Guzma, so like this is the turn to play Guzma this turn. So take out one of these Ultra Necrozmas, especially that one that has Psychic Energy on it. That's what we're going to be looking to do. Now, it will be annoying because my opponent will then be able to, you know, not GX, but they'll be able to copy me with Mimikyu since I'm not knocking out the Mimikyu, but that's fine. I think at this point I'm just looking at kind of progressing the game state. They're going to miss the knockout here unless there's something I'm missing, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm going to get the Guzma, I'm going to knock out an Ultra Necrozma. Then they'll come up and they'll probably Mimikyu my Solgaleo GX to knock it out. Then I'll come up with my Solgaleo, my mini Solgaleo here, and knock out the Mimikyu, go down to 2 prizes remaining. And all I have to do is try to get myself another Solgaleo out, and we're good to go. It does look that maybe the Solgaleos are eluding me here, so that is kind of sad, but it's fine. Let's just Guzma up. Let's just stay the course. We're going to do this thing and take a big old knockout. I'm saving that energy in my hand. I'm not going to play it because you never know if I need to use the Solgaleo Prism Star. You just don't know. I might need to use it. I don't want to just waste all the energy in my hand. Sure enough, we get 2 energy off the prizes, so it becomes a moot point. But, you know, you just never know when you might want an energy for that Radiant Star, especially since I didn't have a guaranteed energy in my hand. It doesn't really make too much of a difference elsewhere right now. Now, next turn, I will slap an energy down into play. We're assuming we're getting copycatted here. I don't have knockout on anything significant, so I'm just going to knock out the Mimikyu since it is kind of being a pain. The big play here would be if my opponent GX'd me. If my opponent GX'd me, that would definitely be frustrating. I guess I feel like they've attached for turn already, though. I think they attached for turn onto that Ultra Necrozma. They could Beast Ring, I guess. I am at 3 prizes, so if they did hit a Beast Ring or something like that, they could bring up the Dawn Wings and GX me. And if they do that, then I just have to Guzma around it, and I'm just going to take a knockout with this Solgaleo here. If they force me into that situation, which I hope that they don't. I don't think that's probably what's going on. I think they did manually attach return to that Ultra Necrozma, so they plan on copycatting here, and that's just going to be the course that they take. So they're going to copycat while promoting the non-GX. The non-GX at this point doesn't really matter for me. I got 3 prizes remaining. I know that probably whoever they're going to bring up next turn is going to be a Pokemon GX. So all I need to do is just knock out whatever's in the active position. The way that I really solidify my board position here is just turning this Cosmog into a GX. So I think that I just need to Cynthia. I'm going to slap down the Solgaleo Prism Star. I need to Cynthia and hope that I just hit Rare Candy and Solgaleo GX, or Rare Candy and Rescue Stretch, or something like that. Or we top deck it right here. Nope. All right, so we didn't get that. I think that we do just start attaching here. And then let's just Cynthia. So we thin our deck by 1 card by putting the energy down. And no Rare Candy. Alrighty. So this is just unfortunate. We need a Rare Candy out of that 17 card deck, or we're not going to be able to finish this game off. So things are definitely getting close. If my opponent wants a really big power play for my opponent would be to just knock out this Cosmog right here. If my opponent knocks out that Cosmog, I can easily just be on the back foot, which would be very, very sad. Judging by the fact that they promoted Inkay, I'm thinking that they probably have a Guzma in hand at this point. If they do have Guzma, something I can do is I can slap another energy onto this Cosmog and just hit whoever they have in the active position with Fangs of the Sun. So you can see how important that manual attachment is. I can just build up a final Sunsteel Strike there by manually attaching. So I'd rather not do that, but it is an option that I have to me. Assuming that they're gonna like Guzma and like GX or something. If they Guzma and GX, that's like really bad for me. I really need that to not be what happens, because if they Guzma and GX, then they could also GX Sky Scorching Light GX, right? Both are playing a 6 or less, so they can play Sky Scorching Light GX and knock out both of my Cosmogs, which is absolutely horrible. So that would just be absolutely devastating. Let's see what they choose to do here. They're going to just take out my Lele with the GX move. Now, I don't know how much I agree with that. I think that there are probably better plays they could have made, but they are putting me on a timer. I need to top deck a Rare Candy right now, or else none of that really matters. I don't have a Solgaleo GX out, so I don't have Ultra Road, so I if they just have Guzma, they have game, which is probably the situation that they put themselves in. I think that they're better off by Sky Scorching Light GXing, in my opinion, but that doesn't matter now. All right, so let's just promote this and just hope that it goes well. We need to top deck Rare Candy right now. We did not get a Rare Candy. I can play my hand down. Let's see. I can Ultra Ball away 2 things. Let's Ultra Ball away Guzma and that. I can also judge my opponent. So like that's important to note as well. 3 Rare Candies in deck. I have no of the middle guy. I cannot get him. So let's see here. I think that's fine. I can attach this. I could go for it, right? The go for it play is to Guzma and then instruct for 2, 1. I would only get to instruct for 1. That is not the play. All right, so we are going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're just going to judge my opponent and hope they don't get a Guzma. That's just all we can do. It's not good, but I think we missed it, unless I just am going to instruct for 1 and just hope it's Rare Candy. And I don't think that that is the correct play. So I think we just need to judge here and just hope that my opponent doesn't get it like that off of the judge. And you can see how limiting this is. I mean, really just, not having the option here. Not having the option to end, right? And this is a dire situation. This is definitely an end situation. So we'll just... Dust Gathering. Yeah, we're just going to Dust Gathering. We're just going to hope that we can get it here. We got a Lele. Yikes. We desperately need, and if they have Guzma, they're just going to slam it down, knock out my Lele, and that's going to be it. So you can see we definitely just, Acrobike. Ooh, they don't have it yet. We could see, they discarded a Guzma. That was probably double Guzma off the Acrobike. Yeah, they just have it. So we can see that the deck kind of petered out there at the end. We just really struggled to get our other 2 Solgaleo GX into play. I had the energy to win the game. That that's the inconsistency of a stage 2 deck. I think we only got 2 Solgaleos out that game, and that's just unfortunate, and unfortunately that's the way it goes. Malamar, a much more consistent deck than Solgaleo, though I do think that Solgaleo does have an extremely high power level and definitely has potential in the current standard format. Here's the list I was rocking with again if you want to check that out. I think that it could use some tweaking, but definitely a great place to start out for anyone looking to play Solgaleo GX in the current standard format. Thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell, check out the Etsy store and the Patreon stuff in the description below. Peace.